Inclusive, I think this is a tough term because inclusive also means including everyone. And I personally think if you include everyone, it means you include no one. For equality reason, you can only include everyone when everyone starts at the same line.
In line with this year's International Women's Day theme, Inspire Inclusion, we're set to unravel the intricate ways gender lens investing not only cultivates financial growth, but also propels social progress and equality. Join us as we embark on this enlightening journey with Jingjin Liu, CEO and founder of ZaZaZu. Hi Jingjin, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hi Roshan, thank you for having me. I'm very good.
Okay, awesome. So let's begin. Jingjin, gender lens investing sounds intriguing, but for those of us who aren't finance experts, could you break it down for us in layman's terms? What exactly does it mean, and why should everyday investors care about it?
Gender lens investing essentially means to put on the glasses with the lens of looking at women. Usually you have a KPI such like top line, bottom line when you do any kind of investment. These KPIs, you just add the women aspect into it, meaning number one, women-owned or women-led companies. Number two, companies that help women to grow, bring more equality in the workspace. And last but not least, femtech product or any product that help women and girls to live a better life. So you essentially add that element into the usual KPIs you have in investment.
Okay, fantastic. Could you tell us a bit about your journey into gender lens investing?
So I embarked this journey accidentally. So I started my own company 10 years ago, and I brought that company. It's a machinery company, and we exited here in Singapore. And then I became an entrepreneur in residence, helping a lot of EMBA students that they are working half-time and then studying half-time to work on their own startups. There was one day where I had 3 male students and 1 female student at INSEAD, so the business school here. And all these 3 guys were telling me they are all into crypto or into AI, into big market stuff. And they are like, if you talk about what is the market cap, huge, billions, 10 billion, hundreds. And what do you have currently? What's the business model? They will just waffle around it, but sounds very intriguing. None of them has anything tangible, but because of the promise, the way they presented with the confidence level, I was very intrigued. I felt like I was missing out if I wouldn't invest, from an investor perspective. On the same day, I had this lady coming to me, and she came very apologetic and saying, "Oh, Jingjin, I have such a small business and don't want to take up too much of your time." And I asked her the same question, and she said, "Oh, our market cap's actually very small, maybe $200-300 million. And this is my business plan." So she came very prepared, but because how she started to present herself, me from an investor perspective already thought, "Oh, it's an insignificant business, can't be that big." But then it turns out she has been running this business for a year and making 200,000 euro revenue, just broke even, beside her full-time job while having 3 children without no help. So this was the first time that I was completely in awe with my own biases, because from a financial perspective, return on anything, this lady is 100% investable. However, because the way how she pitched, how men pitch, and the whole setting, we're very biased towards to invest into male-led startup or a narrative that is described by men in a way. Then I started to do some research and seeing, female-led companies perform better than male-led company startups. Even the S&P 500, we have currently 41 female CEOs, and even these 41 companies outperform significantly than the other 459 male-led companies. So then I more and more depth into this area and see, in the moment where you add the woman into the equation or diversity into the equation, and a lot of things start to change.
Fabulous. It's almost like your perspective or your scope was broadened then.
Absolutely, and this was because since then, I only have invested in male-led companies. And I was caught up by my own biases. This story, what I just told, is I think 4 years ago. And then I have done, until today, 10 startup investments. 8 of them led by men, 4 of them already went bankrupt. And 2 of them are led by women, and they are still doing quite well.
Have you come across any standout stories where gender lens investing has made a tangible impact? We'd love to hear any inspiring examples you've encountered.
So I'm also a LP in a fund, and usually the investors are also very male-dominated space. I mean, very few women are investors. The fund invites the LPs, and then we're looking at, okay, what are the companies? And then there was 2 companies pitching about a product that was to help women. And this one lady is pitching to 2 female founders, and the company is called Pelvic Fit. Essentially, they build a device that help women to train their pelvic floor after giving birth, so you don't leak urine, essentially. And then when she started to pitch with this bunch of men, and with me 2 female investors in the crowd saying, don't you always hate on that day when you sneeze and you are embarrassed? And I was looking at the crowd with my female friend, who is also an investor, and none of the men could actually relate what she was talking about, because this was not a product for them. And then she pitched and so on, the number looked good, okay, next. And then the next company is 2 male-led company, also for a female product. It's called Pinky Glove. Essentially, it's a product that helps women to take out their sanitary pads without making their hands dirty. And I was looking at, my friend was like, okay, this is a best example of inventive solution for a problem that simply does not exist. But then the guys in the room were looking at saying, that kind of makes sense. Women don't want to make their hands dirty. Yeah, and then so ultimately, long story short, the 2 guys actually got more investment from the angels than the lady. And this was 3 years ago, and this Pinky Glove company has already disappeared, I think, after 1 year. And Pelvic Floor has now become a, I think, 2-digit, $20 million company. A female-led company doing product for women, by women, and with substantial return and solid P&L.
Yeah, that's the key, right? For women, by women.
Yeah.
Okay, so women are definitely taking the charge in areas where they can set up businesses that relate to other women, and they're doing well based on their example.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, as we celebrate International Women's Day, what do you think are some practical steps that both individuals and organizations can take to promote gender equality in finance?
So we work in the women's space. We help a lot of women to grow in their progressing career. I don't think there's any specific industry-related terms, whether it's finance, aviation, or any male-dominated domains. I think women need to, for individuals, especially women, need to step up. Women across all culture, and especially in Asian culture, we have been told, don't be too loud, don't brag about your success. And I think the time has changed. We can't wait to be picked and to have, let's say, bosses or higher power to find out that you have done great work. So women need to step up and promote about their achievements, firstly. And then secondly, I think this is more for everyone, men and women, is that as an individual, we need to call out some of the biases that we fall into. Just as when I hear men pitch so confidently, I am immediately drawn without looking at the P&L. When someone pitch less confidently, I feel, oh, maybe the number does not look that well. So some of the terms such like, girls math or girls whatever, don't run like a girl, don't throw like a girl, all these kind of terms. I think the moment where you point that out, men and women, we eliminate this kind of biases that is so deep-rooted in all of us to create awareness and then to be aware that, being a woman is a powerful thing. Yeah. I think organizations need to put the gender lens on. Indeed, when they evaluate a candidate or when you create a space to have the female lens on, let it be workplace creation, let it be flexible working hours. In the moment where you have too many men or too many, any gender actually in making decisions, bias is inevitable. So really to put the gender lens, see things from a female perspective, and the only way to do that is actually to bring more women into the room, into the position of power and agency.
To be inclusive.
To be inclusive, yeah. Inclusive, I think this is a tough term because inclusive also means including everyone. And I personally think if you include everyone, it means you include no one. And for equality reason, you can only include everyone where everyone starts at the same line. And now men are here, women are here in many, many segments. In any segment, name one industry where we have more female holding in the position of power than men? None, actually. So in order to be inclusive, you actually have to lift up the less privileged first. Then you can say, oh no, we all start at the same starting line. Now we can be inclusive. But you can't be inclusive when you have this huge gap between you. So you actually have to deliberately lift up women. Very unpopular opinion.
In this conversation, in this discussion, you're definitely higher than me as far as knowledge goes. You know more. Before we wrap up, do you have any parting words?
I think we have talked a lot about why you should invest in women's business and they perform better in every aspect of things. I want to raise one thing for your audience. Women as investors. Fidelity actually did a quite fascinating research. They have analyzed 5 million women and men across a period of 10 years and look at their female investor and male investors. And they find out that actually female investors outperform their male counterpart by 40 basis points year on year. That's a lot. Nonetheless, there are only 33% of women that are active investors in any kind, in advanced economy, like here. So since we tend to invest in things that are similar like our own, as in women who are more inclined to invest in product that they can relate to, the massive market of women, the she economy is underinvested in if we don't bring more women into investments. So for the audience, everyone, especially the women, to start investing in any kind, could be fund, could be ETF, could be anything, I think is crucial towards to create a world where equality is not just a dream, but the reality.
Start today.
Yeah.
Really insightful. I really appreciate it. We'll do this again sometime.
Thank you for having me, Roshan.
Thank you so much. Remember, promoting gender equality isn't just about financial investments. It's about investing in a future where everyone has equal opportunities. You've been watching Teatime Tuesday. Until next time, keep seeking knowledge and financial empowerment.